What's going on, everybody? It's Eli here from TreeFall Studios, and welcome to a chill development stream today. Let me know if you can hear me and if the volume is okay. I did a few test runs before this, but I'm having trouble with my audio. My new microphone keeps giving me feedback no matter how I change the settings. So let me know if that is okay. I'm going to pull it up here on my phone and see how it sounds as well. You got it, PLP. All right, so today we're going to be just testing out live streaming. The volume is okay, cool. Yeah, I kept turning it down. I kept changing it over and over. Kind of want to change the position of my webcam, but I'll just leave it alone for this one because I keep having to look at this screen in order to control the screen in the stream. But in the webcam, on the actual preview, it's like my eyes are looking at the wrong screen, so it looks weird. But it looks like everything's good. I can put some stream music on if that's something you want, because I have a bunch of TreeFall songs in the background as a playlist. Let me pull this up here and see how it looks. Today, I'm just doing a test in order to get everything ready because I want to stream the Nintendo Direct tomorrow. And I also want to start streaming development more to get people more in development as I do devlogs. This is... yeah, this is for Pic-A-Block, this new little bridge here. Let's see. How can I even see it? It's not even showing up on my... if you look on the phone, it's kind of hard to share. There we go. Okay, yeah, that sounds pretty good. I'm going to put that there. Let me share this on Discord real quick before we get going. I put it on Twitter, but I'm sure that some people might want to join in, so give me one sec. Here we go. Live streaming for fun. Join on in. Join on it. I spelled it wrong. Great. Okay, so let's see if I can hear that in my headphones. Okay. Cool. Pitter-Pod 2. No, this is just it's a secret. You'll see. But I'm going to be making some new models today for it. This is going to be awesome. So I decided to do I'm just going to go ahead and talk about it on the live stream. So I remember we're talking to you about this. I decided to do a little Pitter-Pot spin-off, and I'm just testing out some things to see how things would go if I made like a new world and some new levels and stuff like that. So for this, this is going to be, you can see I made this texture just a little bit ago. That's the thumbnail. This is like some corrugated ribbed metal with some rust. I changed the colors a little bit here and made it a little bit bluer in this area. And then I basically created some dirt to go in this. It's going to look good when it's in the game engine because, you know, I have all the normal maps and everything done already. This is just looking at the albedo here. And we're going to make this little teeny bridge, kind of like abstract, weird shapes. You know, these are going to be wood posts. They're not like the same size. And I'm going to put these like basically metal plates across this bridge. And then we're going to duplicate some and then make like some here, because I want you to be able to see through holes. Kind of like this is like a country swamp level. And it's going to be very similar to my Spyro fans out there. This is kind of inspired, and I'm going on the theming of like Terra's Village and Beastmaker's Homeworld. And also some, you know, inspiration from a Jack and Daxter level. So there's going to be like swamp underneath this, and there's going to be like all these makeshift bridges and things like that are just metal pieces tossed, kind of like you're like out in the swampy bayou or something like that. There's going to be some country character pots, you know, out in the swamp. So it's going to be pretty awesome. I got a cool vision for a little Pitter-Pot game. I'm going to be doing a trailer announcement soon. I've already started putting together the pieces, taking out what I need to take out from the original game. This is going to be built off the original game, the original controller and engine and stuff like that. I've already got it working on the PS4, but I got to change a lot of stuff, and I basically need to redo all of the art and keep everything original. There's going to be some of the models and things from the original game that are going to make it, you know, that are going to get reused, kind of like, the spinning bridges and the twirling wood pieces, like the elevators, the wood things, all the stuff that I made originally for the game that are like very usable, that can be used in level designs. Those will be rekept. Some of the enemies are going to be rekept and stuff like that. A spinoff makes me excited as a sequel. Yeah, I just decided to do it when I was thinking about it because I got some news to talk about soon, but I'm planning on getting a lot of games out this year, like 4 more games for the back half of the year, games and spinoffs and stuff like that. So what I need to do is make some smaller games, some smaller content, like Tilting Tiles Micro Challenge has been played by a ton of people, and people have been really enjoying it. And like that game was technically kind of a spin-off, even though these Tilting Tiles games, they're basically like they're just like new entries in the formula kind of thing. I need to do more of games like that, but they need to be in a little bit of a different price range, somewhere between the $3 and $6 price range, kind of like Maze Pedestal of Trials was. And Maze Pedestal of Trials is actually becoming my most successful game, just about, underneath the Perplexing Orb. So the smaller games that you can beat in like 1 to 2 hours is like my kind of goal, because a lot of people like that stuff. They like having stuff that is like a little bit shorter and easier to beat, but not too short, not like really, really short. So there's some content there and some creativity, but also something that's in that budget price, but it can't be so low. I'm trying to move. I can't release another couple of games that are in that $1.99 category, kind of like Night Detective and The Letter and stuff like that. I need to go a little bit higher to get a little bit more revenue rolling for the rest of the year. So I thought Pitter Pot would be a good one, because that would be able to hit that perfect new budget that I'm looking for, to where the game can cost a few dollars and the levels can be replayable. And it's gonna take a little bit, because like building 3D levels takes a whole lot more than building like 2D levels or something like Mighty Math, for instance. But yeah, so that's the plan. So let's just go ahead and see if we can model this bridge here together, at least before we start getting stuff into the game engine. See if we can put some textures on here and make this look okay. I got some comments. Let me catch up on those really fast. I think the fact that all of your games are usually under $10 helps them a lot. The market is oversaturated with $20 games right now. Also, shorter games take up way too much of my time right now. And Space My Name waves and says hi. So hey, Space My Name, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining in. And yeah, you're right. There are a lot of indie games that are basically coming out at that $15 to $20 price range. I'm starting to look more towards going back. See, I've got a lot of data on this now. Like I've made a lot of video games. I've released a ton of games, multiple games at $1.99. I've tested out 49 cents. I've tested out $2.99 multiple times, Gem Collector and Maze Pedestal of Trials. I've tested out $3.99 with Mighty Math, $4.99 with the Tilting Tiles games, Annihilation, $5.99 with Orb, and then $9.99 with Maze, and $9.99 with Orb 2. So I basically got a large, and I think Meme Run actually is $6.99. So I've got data on everything but $7.99 and $8.99. And I think like my Tilting Tiles bundle hits the $8 one, so they're $7.99. So I've been learning a lot of things based on pricing and where I want to go, and talk to other indie developers about this, and help them choose their prices. The $2.99 is the best budget price for me, like the money versus the revenue in versus like how cheap it can be for people to pick up. My best earning categories are typically the $5.99, $4.99 areas for the most part, but some of the $9.99 stuff is closed. So I'm thinking of releasing small budget games still at the $3 price point, and then doing some games at like the $5.99. This one, actually, since I'm going to be redoing everything from scratch and have some really cool levels ideas and stuff like that, I think I'm going to go in for $5.99 on this, but we'll see. It just depends on how long it is to beat and stuff. I tried to edit the game controller a little bit. I was going to go from scratch and like do a new 3D controller, for Pitterpot and like, you know, a new model and stuff. But since it's a spinoff, that's going to take too long. And I already started doing that for like, you know, Pitterpot 2 or like a full-on sequel and stuff like that. I've got another like Pitterpot model that I've already started animating and all that. So for that game, it'll be brand new for that. For this, I'm just going to try to edit the values in the code and make it feel a little less clunky, although he is pretty heavy, I would say, still for this game. So I'm going to try to make the jumps like more doable and change some things like that. So, all right, let's get started. I'm going to switch over to this. This looks interesting. The lighting is going to look terrible in here, but that's okay. It's not going to look like this when we're all done. And I guess we should go for non-overlapping UVs. See, UV, we want to go this. Slide this over. What are these? Whoops. Oh, these are the faces. Actually, we don't even need these if we go to this. No, actually, we should leave these. I can hide them in the game engine, and I think I might just duplicate this model and have some of them sticking off of the bridge so you want to see the sides. But yeah, should probably... let's see if I can get back to shaded view. There we go. Probably would want to... Let's change this, actually. Oh, can we not do that? There we go. Yeah, that looks a little bit better, more proportional. And I guess we want to copy the same thing over here. Something like that. And then I guess these sides, should I put this, let's give it a rusted side for this one. That looks kind of good. And this side, let's take this, let's rotate it. And let's put a little, I think the dirt would look a little weird if we put that in there. Yeah, it does not make sense. So it needs to be something like this. Although no one's really going to zoom the camera in to look at the sides like that. But I think that's pretty good. And honestly, this doesn't make any sense having dirt on the bottom. So that's something we also need to fix. So I've got one material that I made with dirt like laid into the metal here. And then I've got one material that's plain. And then I've got another one that doesn't have the rust that looks like this. And then I'm going to change up the colors and, you know, so the bridges look kind of different and stuff like that. And then I think I'm going to add a little bit of different rust that doesn't look like this to the other one, so it kind of fits in. Because we're going to put this over some swampy water and stuff like that. So, you know, the wet water is going to erode this stuff over time. So let me look at the comments here. Just bought Mighty Math, gonna play it during the stream right now. Well, look at you go. That's going to help your brain grow in ways that you could never imagine. No, but for real, I hope you enjoy. It's a lot of fun. The very happy with the speed up feature. Yeah, I tested the game so much, and I actually had playtesters test that game, and it's crazy because the game is about endless runs. It's randomized. It's not like a, you know, a roguelike or anything, but, you know, the spawns change like every single time. And I have like, I did the math basically on that game to make sure that you have the right amount of numbers. So you can always complete each round by getting the numbers and not leaving your range of 0 to 9, which was one of the most difficult things to figure out about Mighty Math that no one thinks about, because people look at it and they go, oh, you know, a developer could make that in, you know, 2 hours. I saw someone say that to me on Twitter, and I'm like, bro, the amount of thinking of like choosing what numbers, you can't just throw numbers across the screen, you know, every single round. It has to be doable. You have to balance out like which types of numbers are coming when and where. That is there's a lot of code in the background for Mighty Math to make it fun and doable. But the first 5 rounds or so are really, really, really slow, and that's so you just understand, and learn and get how to play, and pick up a couple numbers and stuff like that. So the speed up feature was huge, because if you kept playing for high scores, if you kept dying over and over and over again, then it would be absolutely miserable to keep going through the slowest junk possible. So I put the speed up feature in there. And if you want to risk it, you can also drop a bomb. By around level 5 or something like that, you can just go ahead and blow up the numbers, so you can speed up faster. But it's better to save the bombs for later. Going to do a daily Mighty Math and Big Brain Academy becomes the world's smartest man. Yeah, it's funny that you say that. I haven't announced it publicly, but I'm going to be doing more brain training games because Mighty Math was so fun to me. And also, I think it's just, a good thing to break up your types of games that you create and play and stuff like that. So I've got some more learning games to go in the Mighty Math series, as well as Mighty Math 2 down the line in the works. So, man, let's see. Do I have to do this every single time? Do I have to go to material? Okay, there we go. Sweet. I'm a little unfamiliar with Blender. This is Blender 3.0. It's very interesting because I've been doing game development for years now, and this is my full-time job. And I do all the modeling for all of our games and stuff like that. But I'm not super efficient in Blender, because for the longest time, it's pretty crazy. I was running 2.79 for years and years and years. And if anyone knows game development, or if there's any indie developers watching this stream later, that they changed. I think it was 2.8 was the big Blender change. And then ever since then, to 2.9 to 3, it's this whole new interface. All the stuff has changed. Up here has changed. All of this stuff has changed. Where you get your menus and stuff like that, all of this has been changed. All of this is so much changed. There was a lot of good things, and everyone really, really likes it. But I first learned game development way back in the day. So I was using the old school stuff and just wasn't super familiar. And I haven't really, because it's pretty crazy. If you look at my catalog, I haven't had to do too much. I haven't done too much complicated modeling in quite a while, because on my last couple of releases, stuff like tilting tiles is very simplistic models. It's easy to pop those in here and knock those out. Oh, I don't really want to overlap, I guess. It's just, no one's going to see the bottom. So stuff like that was pretty simple. And then if you look at my other games that I've released recently, stuff like Mighty Math is all 2D. I drew all that in, a photo editor. And then on top of that, the previous release before that was the letter. So that stuff was models I had done, years and years ago, and I just popped them in to edit them, and that was it, basically. So yeah, not having to do too much modeling recently, but I've been really wanting to get back into a 3D game like this and start doing some more complex models. I'll actually pull it up. It's pretty, I'll show you in just a second, but I started some new character modeling for this Pic-A-Block game, and this new character, I think I'm trying to come up with a name for him. If you want to leave your names in chat, what you think, what would be a good name for him. Let me just pull that up. I'll go ahead and get him over here real quick. Let's switch screens. But he's going to be kind of like a sketchy character, and he's going to be in the corner of the new hub world, and you're going to have to do things for him in order for him to give you acorns. So he's going to be kind of like, my name so far that I'm using is Spike, but I feel like that is just so overdone. I feel like that was used in Splatoon for the sketchy guy in the first Splatoon. I might be wrong about that. And then, you know, I can't come up with another name. I'm like workshopping some names. So let's see. Models. Yeah. Here we go. Pull him up. So actually, okay, let me check on the comments here while oh shoot. I pulled it up in the wrong blender. Probably broke it. Let's see. Open with, let me just go here. Let me open up another one. I have all the blender versions, so like you can, yeah, there we go, Spike. Okay, so here he is so far. It's just his head. And he has like, he's gonna have these drooping, kind of like this emo gothic vibe where he's gonna have like his hair swooshed over to the side. Here's his eyes, and he's gonna have like these, you know, little thorns like the enemies do in Pitter Pot, and he's gonna be having them coming out of his pot down here by his neck. So yeah, that's all he is so far. But yeah, I just wanted to show you since I was bringing it up. And yeah, Spike, he's in Splatoon 3. Oh, didn't realize. And Angus McCall waves, hey, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining in. And yeah, I should name him TY. I'm actually going to put his character in the game. I'm going to put, because Tyler actually had a character based off him, the cactus. His name is Tylactimus in Pitterpot. And I'm gonna grow, like actually do some character dialogue and stuff. I don't know if you've played Night Detective, but the code I figured out for Night Detective is like there's like some typing code where it will like, you know, basically do the dialogue out, and like you can skip through it, and it for the cutscenes in Night Detective. I'm gonna do a full dialogue system in this game using that code that I learned for that game, and do a little bit of character development on some of the characters. If you play the original Pitterpot, Twiglet, he moves around, talks to you a bunch, and the old cactus guy, he talks to you a little bit, and you get to talk to Rose like 3 times, but I'm actually going to put them in different places, and they're going to be like kind of like Pitterpot's team. Some of the characters are going to come back, and they're going to be like your friends and stuff like that, because there's going to be a whole set of new characters in this new hub world that are basically like the bad characters that have taken your acorns, and you need to steal them back, or get them back, not steal them. They're your acorns. So yeah. All right, let's go back here. Let's go to solid. I don't know if you can zoom in. Maybe someone can tell me from there. And let's go to this one. And I think this is, am I doing these sides, I guess? Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter because those, well, actually, let's do these first. Let's pick a new zone. Actually, let's make sure. Yeah, don't really want to overlap. Let's take, I think it's not this one. No, it is this one. And let's go over. Yep, that's that face. Let's rotate you. Let's put it right around there. That looks a little weird because of the dirt cut off. And let's go here. Just zoom it in. Yeah, that's fine. And that looks fine. Okay, let's take these big ones. Like the sides literally don't need to be this big because no one's even going to see them. And it can just be like here basically. And where's the other one? Oh yeah, down here. And something like that. All right, so that's a couple of the metals with the dirt. I don't think having them right side by side is probably going to be the best thing. We'll maybe change that. Let's make another one here. Let's take it to change it up. Let's make it a little thinner. And then let's take this. Let's switch back over to this side. And let's angle it a little bit in a different way. And you know what? Let's like act like this has taken some damage, and let's go on the X axis. Yeah, look at that. It's gonna warp the texture. So weird. We're gonna fix that. Let's scale it just a little bit so it's like not even. And then let's take it and bring it like here. And this is gonna come like right there. And then maybe we'll have it sitting on top of the bridge, kind of like this. But, you know, it's kind of inside that. So let's pull it up just a little bit. So that way, if you pull your camera, you can see under. That'll be pretty cool. Let's go ahead and take, let me go. I got a bunch of folders over here with my materials and such. Let me find the correct one. It's not this one. I'm doing it on the other screen here. Let's just look at this in photos for now. Yeah, so yeah. So this is gonna do some damage on my system since I'm streaming and pulling up Blender. And for some reason, I don't know, for the game developers out there, I'm using Quixel Mixer to edit my materials, and that is pretty heavy on my GPU. So hopefully I'm not going to stay too long on this, but I think I will go ahead and edit a material real quick. Let's just call this metal colors, and let's have it set itself up. So let me check out my comments while this is loading. Yeah, Spike, he's in Splatoon 3. Not yet. That one is soon. All right, so let's go over here. We're gonna add a solid layer. I'm gonna go to my albedo. I'm gonna pull this over here off the screen, and then we're gonna go to my metals, and this is, I'm looking for 3, the third one. Oh, okay, this is interesting because this is not a tiling texture. Let's put it in here. Okay, it's kind of ugly. And let's go ahead and load up all the other maps. It's just going to do this every single time, I think. Displacement. All right, there's the metalness map. Let's go ahead and just put my displacement map in here. I don't even feel like that did anything. And there we go. Yeah, it just doesn't look right because we're scaling the texture down, but that's okay. And then I want to go here. And then what's a good new color? Maybe like a little bit of a weathered green, something like that. And then we're gonna wrap it. Don't need to lower the height. And then I want to take the opacity way down. So it's just barely looking like some green metal is in here. And then we're gonna do another layer. And I am going to get some dirt to mix in here. Let me look and see if I got the right one. That's the one we already have. I'm gonna go with a different dirt. Whoopsies. And I'm gonna go with, look at this mud here. And I need to get the wood planks textured as well. I did not move these all over already. Let me put this here. Sorry, this is going to take me a second to pull these out. I need to get my planks ready, and I need to get my dirt ready. Mud. Let me just double check. Yeah, let's take this one for now. See what this looks like mixed in. Is this the one that I want? Well, we can try it. And we're going to go here. Now we're going to load in this. Or should we quit that? Textures, polygon. Okay. And then we're going to take the displacement map, put that in there. Oh yeah, already looking decent. And let's go ahead and give our shadows. All right, so we don't really like, let's wrap this to underlying because I want this to actually be on top, kind of. And then, yeah, now we're gonna go over here. Let me pull up my stream. And then we're gonna go to this, and where are we? Oh, it's because I was about to say, why is this not happening? This is just so, you can see, there you go. It just doesn't fit the windows really well. So we're gonna add a mask layer to this, and then I'm gonna go to noise, Perlin noise. So you can see that already looks weird. What we want to do is play around with these. There we go. So I can see this. I don't really like this color either. Like the color itself is just hideous. Maybe I need to change my green. I'm actually gonna get a little bit more sporadic dirt. Not that much. Okay, and now I do need to go back here. Change the height. So it won't even show up that way. And let's see. It's because this height map is not very good. Let me go here. And displacement to strength. 50. Did that do nothing? There we go. We can actually see a little bit. And so now you can see, okay, that's like kind of, let's make sure we do this right. So this, all right, this is, oof, sitting on top of the metal. This looks pretty bad. We're not done yet. Let's just cut that back down. See if we can blend it a little better. I'm gonna blur this in a little bit. If I don't wrap it, or if I fully wrap it, I think I need to fully wrap it so the dirt just is like laying on these grooves a little bit. Let's go back to our mask, and we're gonna add some more components. I don't think that's worth it. And we're gonna go ahead and blur this a little bit so it's more natural. So there's just a little bit of dirt on here. I don't really like this color, to be honest. It needs to be a little bit more subtle. And then I might want to add a little bit of rust in here. Let me get a drink of water. Well, something like that. That looks. This is what we're going to use for now. Save. Let's call this metal colors. I'll edit this later. Metal colors, export disk. It's going to load itself like crazy. Let me save it again. Close out. All right, so let's just see if this looks okay. So we got here, and we're gonna go, actually, you give it a new material, delete this one, and unwrap it. And over here, we're gonna go to, I'm gonna delete this first. New. And let's go ahead and find our colors. Okay, here's our new color. Man, I wonder if I have to do this every single time. So this is like the one thing that I did whenever I was doing Blender 2.79, like I mentioned earlier in the stream, that the one thing that bothered me the most is the way that they changed. You used to could just display textures on models, and I don't use Blender to render anything, so I don't care about compositing and doing all the nodes and doing all this stuff like these other artists do. I'm just trying to make sure the textures line up for the game engine. But now you got to go like over here to shading. I got to click on this. This is like a new material that we've given it. Then I got to go like add texture. I need to go to an image texture. I got to drag in the colors here. Now I got to open up our textures, our metal colors, pull my albedo in, and do all of that just to see it when there was literally like a drop down arrow that you could just change to texture in the old Blender. I just don't understand. It's infuriating to me. But I guess that's what you get when you're not really a 3D artist trying to do your best. Yeah, something like this. This is gonna, trust me, this will look really cool. You can see now I've got the dirt kind of just splattered on this metal. When this is in the game engine with the height map and the lighting on it and stuff like that, it's gonna look pretty cool. You having trouble with Mighty Math, huh? It is very hard. That's the one thing. I think that was one of the things, one of the reasons why I wouldn't. I did a bunch of testing. It's crazy because if you're going for achievements, the original high score was 5,000, and after having testers play it, I changed it to 4,500 because basically no one could get it, which was like really sad to me. Yeah, let's just do something like this. This is already kind of lined up. Wow. Yeah, this is lined up fine because this is the model I duplicated. Let's look at this one. Yeah, this is going to have overlapping UVs. I give up. But yeah, the Mighty Math itself is pretty hard. I just love it. I didn't want to go easy on it. I didn't want it to be super easy for you to unlock everything, you know, to beat the high score and all that. So yeah, it's a whole lot of fun. It takes people a lot of time. Actually, most people play it for a couple of hours or more. It adds to the replayability a lot, because they really have to work hard before they can complete it. I was just taking a pause to make sure. Yeah, cool. Do I have my... Yeah, let me just cut that all the way off just to make sure. I was like listening to the audio through my headphones. I was like making sure that I wasn't actually outputting it twice to the stream. Space my name. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He's hilarious. That guy, he's a goober, that's for sure. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make another little one here. We're gonna change this up. And we're gonna scale this down. And I'm actually gonna bring this across something like that. And we're gonna go, and what I need to do is, so this is pretty inefficient. You're just watching me like struggle in real time. So this is a Z value. What we're gonna do is just copy and paste these so the Z's are the same, because we're gonna go for the same height. We're gonna flatten this one out. Oopsies. Copy this. And then we're gonna paste that. There we go. Then we're gonna take this one, copy that. And we're gonna paste it here. I should have done the other ones first. That would have been a lot more beneficial. Boom. Something like that. Also, I need to go here on all of these. I need to hide this menu and go to Object. And what we need to do is apply all of this stuff, all transforms. I basically need to do that to all of these. I think I can do that with, there was a hotkey for this. Control A? Yes. Wow. Can't believe I remember that. Control A. Because I'm warping these all around, so... Oh, shoot. And also I need to go like this, and I need to set origin to center. Yeah. I didn't mean to do all that. Set origin to center. Object, set origin to center. So these are good and movable, and then, yeah, I need to move him as well. Okay, there we go. Now we have a little flat guy here, and I'm going to set him kind of like that. Yeah, this is going to be so cool when you bounce across this bridge. Also, one of the things I'm going to try to do for this stream, or this game, not this stream, specifically is... I'm going to try to do some code to where Pitterpot's feet, like when he hits surfaces, it will play the correct sound. So, you know, that would be pretty cool if I can get that right. I've been having some audio problems. Sorry if I missed any questions. Is that audio problems on my end? Is the microphone kind of messing up? Just let me know if it is, and then I'll try to change it the best that I can. And all right, so let's go ahead and let's just fix this model unwrap. These will be a little bit better. Something like that. So it looks a little different. Still fits in with the same texture sizes. Same with this guy. Let's just unwrap him. Scale him, rotate him, pull him down some. Yeah. And then we look at the side. Honestly, that'll look, it's fine. It'll be fine. No one's gonna look at that. And then like, let's go ahead. So this looks like a little bit better. Let me go over here and I just got the wood ready. I'm gonna like edit this a little bit, but for now, let's not worry about it. Let's just line up the wood before I change the colors and do all that stuff. So let's go to this one. This is material 1. This is material 2. So actually this material is on everything else. So I should be able to go here. Let's go back to our shading. Yeah. And let's go Shift A, texture. And let's go ahead and, man, I can't even see it. It's crazy. I'll get really proficient at this. Trust me. I don't think I've got the wood in here. Give me 1 second. As I take this and copy it and put it in our missing acorns files. Paste. And we're going to go here, textures, wood planks. Boom. Look at that. We already have some wood. They're not correctly done, so let's fix that. This will make this look so much better. Let me pull my chat up here. No, I've got a lot of noise around me right now. Stream is a little quiet, but I turned it up to compensate. Okay, just let me know, because I feel like the output should be somewhat decent. Because my microphone, so I bought this nice new microphone. Can't really see it down here, but it's got a USB out and an XLR out. And I'm going to start, I got to get the audio interface to do better mics. And I'm going to set up to where I can do multiple mics for a new podcast that we're going to be doing and some of the new shows that we're going to be doing. But I don't have it yet, so I'm running this like XLR mic through USB. And I don't know if that's part of the problem because like it just picks up audio so easily. And no matter how I change the settings, it doesn't matter if I put a compressor on it in OBS or if I, put limiters on it, filters. It doesn't really matter. I'm getting like this popping and it's like blowing out. I have a windscreen on it and everything, but it's still blowing out. I'm not the most proficient when it comes to audio, so I'm not totally sure why that's happening, but I'm trying to fix it. I'm hoping that like when I get the new oh shoot, why are we looking at this? Okay, so over here we need to get rid of that and we need to open up our wood planks. And let's see, if I go here. Yeah, see, like this is what I don't understand, man. The texture UV editor in the new Blender is not connected to, you can change your images here so you know what you're editing it, but it's not connected and linked to the material that you're showing by using your nodes and your shading viewport. I don't understand. Super annoying. But I guess if we go here, we'll do these planks real quick. I wonder if I could just unwrap this whole thing. Yeah, that would probably give me the best result. Let's rotate these and let's pick some good wood. Let's see. We have some cool looking let's see how I can get that in there. Yeah, so there we go. That looks like some wood that would be a little, not rusted, but I guess decayed in a swamp. That's what I picked this one for. Let's see. I don't want to show the sides. That kind of, like that side to side kind of looks like it matches up decent. Recommendations: get a Scarlett instead of an M Audio. It's worth the extra 20. Peaking is likely from the USB power. That's what I was thinking, especially since the USB power here is a USB type C, and my USB type C port is a little kind of wonky on the back of the computer. I think it's taken some damage. So I really think that this microphone would do better. I wasn't planning on doing an M Audio. I was actually thinking of trying the pre-Sonus, I think. I think that's who does the studio, the Blue Studio. I didn't really want to do the Scarlet. Everyone talks about that because it's like so popular right now. And I was like doing some research and watching some videos on it, and it seems to be like really good. So I might jump in. But like when I was watching like a setup video, I was like kind of annoyed because I just don't like stuff where it forces you to download their software and make an account. Apparently, to register and use your Scarlet, you have to have an account. So they need your email address and be, tying your information to you. All that stuff really bothers me. Like I'm trying to avoid companies that do that and stuff like that. So I think those look pretty good actually. So I think that one is done. But I might bite the bullet and just do it because everyone says that it's really good. Oh, I should mark these seams first. I didn't do that earlier, and that's why I had odd unwraps. I just did them by hand, slowly, one at a time. Let's go to rotate 180, flip you around. Let's just pick new zones so it doesn't look the same. That does not look the same as that. That looks pretty good. And let's go here. This will be a -90. Yep, that'll get it there. And yeah, I want this like big empty cutout part right here. I can kind of see the here. We're kind of touching the edge. Scoot that over so we don't really see that. That looks good. What about you? Kind of lined him up all right, to be honest. Not bad. Not bad at all. Little Xenoblade for you. Pop this up here. I want that little hole. That little hole looks cool right there. Good. All right, so we got these running. You can kind of see the split in the wood there. I wonder if I should change that on this. I'm going to scale it down. Let's just off-kilter it a little. Yeah, that's fine. And I don't like that, actually. I don't know what I was doing. Is that better? There we go. Now let's take a look. So we got, this is starting to look good. Starting to look completed. Let me see. I haven't heard of the Sonos, but I got the M Audio and it's not that great. I agree with the sign up thing. NVIDIA drivers shouldn't need my email. Yeah, it's just so annoying. Everybody wants your data. I mean, especially because like the Scarlet, or like now I'm like starting to realize that like anybody who needs your email and needs you to have an account or like download their software just to set it up, because I'm like, I'm not going to use their software in order to do the mix, like it's going to be through whatever I'm recording with instead. So it's like I don't need their software. They're just trying to get eyes in the computer and trying to figure out what other things you like and get some of your data so they can figure out what else to sell you. It's pretty annoying. So let's go here, and I think we're gonna go and test out some beveling, because wood is not totally flat. It is for the most part, but not completely. So if we do something like that, yeah, that looks good. And I think I'm gonna do this by hand to change the size on every one of them, instead of doing it all at once. That way it doesn't look the same. And I'm going to do that for every single one. So yeah, I mean, like, look at how little this detail is. It is so small. Like, you would never even see that in the game. But now the wood looks more like wood, and it doesn't look like a square plank, basically. So I think that looks pretty good. I think I'll do that for this one as well. Yeah, it's the PreSonus. I think because I used a long time ago, I used PreSonus because they're the ones that make like Studio One or whatever. I used something from them. I don't remember what it was because I used to do like music production and stuff like that before I did the YouTube for game development and all that. And I had something from them. And I was looking at the reviews, and like I think some people said it was good, but like hardly anyone talks about it because everyone is just so focused on the Scarlet. And I feel like it's kind of hard to tell like what is actually good now because I feel like people just make YouTube videos on what's like trending. So like everyone has a review on the Scarlet, but like hardly anyone has reviews on stuff that's less heard of. It's just because they just want the clicks because that's what everyone's looking for. So it's interesting. I thought about doing it, but right now I need to, continue saving a little money, so I can't afford it just yet. I need to go ahead and switch these, set the origins here, so those are good. Yeah, these origins are off. Ooh, I need to go ahead and do that. Whoa, that's not, I clicked the wrong one. Be careful. We're going for the center here. And we're going to set the origin here to the center. And let's do that for these. This is the slowest game development I have ever done. I am so inefficient at Blender nowadays. And I guess I need to go ahead and let's just Control A, all transforms, Control A. Whoa, whoa. If I apply that, why does that move my... Okay, so if I just do this, I should be doing rotation and scale. Apply rotation and scale, rotation and scale. And then I need to go back and set these origins in the middle again. Man, my Blender inexperience is showing. But hey, this is good news for you because you don't have to be a super proficient pro at every single piece of software, and you can still become a full-time game developer and be highly successful at it. All right, so let's go ahead and mark all of these seams. Okay. Let's unwrap you, fella. I just noticed that it is getting close to 4. It's not too late, but the hunger pains have already set in. I'm going to probably do another reason, for those catching up on the stream. Thanks for everyone who's joined into the stream so far, even if you were only here for just a little bit of time. I highly appreciate it. I'm going to be streaming a little bit more often than not because if you have noticed, if you take a look at our YouTube channel, we are highly close to the watch time that we need to be monetized. People might not realize because YouTube actually runs ads on all of our videos and all of our popular videos, but we're not getting to get any of that money, which is very annoying because we do have quite a bit of views on the channel at this point. I saw that we broke 200,000 this past week. So kind of up there. We have the subscribers that we need. So if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe anyways. That would be very helpful. But we still need a little bit more watch time. So I'm going to try to be a little bit more active on YouTube. Oh, that's an overlap. Oh, no. And try to just do some of that stuff more often, stream more often. I've got a lot of videos. If you can tell, if you've been checking out the channel recently, a lot of my videos I feel like are getting to be a little bit more high quality. I'm working harder on the edits, doing my setups in the scenes a little bit differently. If you look around in the background, I still got my shelves and stuff in the back over there with the video games. I'm going to build a little bit of a better setup. I just got everything just moved in here. We just moved. So this is the first test stream in the new office. Also, I think it's a little echoey in here. So that's another reason I was worried about the microphone. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a little bit more streams, trying to get the watch time up, doing a little bit more videos, lots of game development tutorial videos coming down the pipe. I got to finish my game development from scratch tutorial series. I've got 3 parts of it so far for Unity on how to start from scratch and create a game. So if you haven't seen those, you can catch up on those. And I've got a couple other Unity tutorials, but most of my game development related videos are for tips and stuff, telling you about things I've learned, pricing, and how many units I've sold, and how to be successful on Steam and other places like that. I talk about PlayStation a lot because I think people really underestimate console market. I learned on Wii U that the console market, well, first off, people who play on Nintendo, they just like games, and you sell more games on indie games on Nintendo systems than anywhere else. But I learned that you can sell more on consoles than Steam pretty quickly, unless you hit new and trending. If you hit new and trending on Steam, then you're pretty much solid to retire, I think. not that much, but it's pretty good. And you can do it, and there's pathways to do it, and people will teach you how to do it. But it takes some doing. It takes a really good game. You got to have all the right stats for Valve to put you out there. So it's very difficult, and I feel like you get a lot more organic visibility with people who might actually purchase your game on consoles. I want this. Oh yeah, this is all one piece. Let's slim this a little bit. Yeah, so I got a lot of videos talking about PlayStation and in Wii U and my experiences on all that, and how to make money on consoles and why you should develop for video game consoles. So if you're interested in all that, you can check out videos on the channel. I've actually redone quite a bit of my channel. If you look, actually, let me go ahead and I'm gonna pull that up. Might as well show you on stream. So if you look at my channel here, I've redone some stuff, and this is my favorite series that I do, my game developer tips and talks. These are like my most popular videos. You can see 20,000. I hit 1,000 views here, 13,000, different things like that. This is one of my favorite videos I've made recently, my 1,000 units on Steam. So this is basically on how to get set up and started as a game developer, just random tips and advice. And there's plenty of these videos, old ones and new ones. Then I put my game trailers next so you can keep up with the TreeFall games. And then this is the new series that I'm doing on the channel. And it's quite popular. You can see 2,000 views on this one, and these have some decent amount of views as well. And this is going to be anything related to the games industry, like news, like physical video games, stuff related to like GameStop, shipping, other companies, stuff like that. Nintendo, this is Xbox. So if it's related to the game industry and the news that's changing that will affect game developers, I give my perspective on it from a indie game developer perspective. So that's here now. Still have all my devlogs. These are like the old ones, but if you go to all here, you can see even the new ones, like the new Tilt ones. There's like a ton of videos in this playlist. And then now after the devlogs, so I basically do game dev help, TreeFall, game dev talk, TreeFall, game dev tutorials, and then TreeFall. And now I've got like my conferences out here listed so you can see those easier. Then here's like all the videos, and then here's my shorts. And basically I'm just using shorts as marketing for games and stuff like that. So you can see clips of my games, and then there's the popular at the bottom. So yeah, I think overall, and you can see, I'm about to be at 1,400 subscribers. I'm going to do a video soon. See, I'm at 284 videos. I want to hit like 2K subscribers by the time I hit like 300 videos. Not sure if that is plausible or not, but yeah, I think it's going good, and I'm been enjoying doing more work on YouTube recently. But it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. So that's another reason why these streams are kind of helpful, because I'm like, well, I can, hang out with the community, further my YouTube stuff, but also at least work on the game, and move forward a little bit, because you're talking about some serious overwork, you know, to try to do the YouTube stuff and then edit videos all night or whatever. All right, so those are beveled and they all have custom wood on each side, so they don't look different. They all look different on every side. And we still need to do these, and then I need to finish the rest of the bridge. And Space by Name says, I think you're doing great. Your video is very informative. Don't hear much of an echo at all. Sweet. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. I got some more coming out soon, you know, to talk about different things. I got a lot of game development, game industry commentary. Like I showed you that just a second ago, the commentary videos, those are getting kind of popular. And I've been noticing that there's a lot of talk in the game industry from different people. And there's a lot of things in the games industry that are moving in directions that I'm not exactly a fan of. So I've decided to weigh in and start giving my opinions on things. Different companies are doing things that I'm not really a fan of. And I'm going to start just letting people know and kind of getting the movement going for good old game development. We got a overlapper here. Let's take you and maybe go here. Excuse me. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So let's bevel this guy and see what that looks like. Let's go to these edges here. Bevel him. Let's bevel that a little bit more. Is that too much? That actually kind of looks like a sawed off log. That looks pretty good. Let's bevel that. And this. A lot of extra faces for just a little bit of improvement. But that looks pretty good. I'm going to save it. Let's go over here to you. Let's mark all your seams. Unwrap you. And then let's go back to the face mode. And yes, and also, by the way, you mentioned, you know, as far as informative goes, I am going to try to do a little bit more tutorial videos and stuff like that. Because you never know, one of my most popular videos is a tutorial video on building 3D UI in Unity. So I think I'm going to do like random offshoots of stuff like that. And then I'm also going to do more stuff along the lines of like this tutorial series that I'm doing. It just takes a little bit of time to put it all together and whatnot. Because I think I'm going to try to get in Unity's good graces, do some videos, and talk about it more often, because I do use Unity as my game engine of choice for almost all of my releases. So I should be talking about it a little bit more and helping other people get into it. Although there are some other game engines out there that I'm considering potentially using. And I might even do a test. I was thinking Unreal. You know, everyone's switching to Unreal these days. But, you know, because everyone's like really mad about Unity going super corporate and all that kind of stuff. And they feel like, oh, they're not really for the little game developers anymore, that kind of thing. I don't think that's true. I think they're providing a lot of good materials for game developers in general. But a lot of people are kind of upset with them. You know, all those people are like trying to move to Godot and stuff like that. Now that's good, but like until that there's a viable, you know, console port ability in Godot, like it's, to me, I don't even look at it seriously. So like people who are a little bit more serious about their game development, because I mean, yeah, you can sell your game on Steam just fine with that, but like I said, I don't really sell that many games on Steam. So I just don't really look into that. I thought about it. I've listened to a lot of guys, a lot of other game developers out there have talked about why they're switching to Unreal and all that kind of thing. Let's get this guy back so we can look at him good. And I feel like they're just as bad because they went through a whole thing where, like, you know, Epic was doing all this stuff for game developers and buying all this stuff and giving it away for free. Like, they bought the material maker that I was using earlier, and then they gave it away for free. But I'm like, I'm not totally sure if that's just a, you know, they're not actually doing it for generosity. It's more of a tax write-off and just to make them look good type of thing, because they got a lot of stuff going on too that it's like, oh, they feel pretty heavily corporate. I don't know. So there's quite a few different options out there. Not sure. Let's move. Let's see. What does this one look like? I'm not sure what I would switch to. I still think Unity is the best. However, that looks pretty good. It looks different. I might try Unreal. I think that I could maybe do like a good maze game in Unreal and it would look pretty ridiculous. But maybe that's for another day. We'll try. POP 3,744 in Mighty Math. So close. I'm sad. Yeah, I know that's gotta feel tough when you hit that and get that close. So I guess I'll give you some tips really quick. If you didn't go to the high score screen, it teaches you what the score is calculated on. The score, you get 10 points for every number you pick up, and then you get the absolute value of every number. So, like, if you pick up a 1 or a -1, you get 11 points. If you pick up a 9 or a -9, you get 19 points. So typically, the most efficient way, if you're looking at all of the numbers, to get more score in less rounds is to be going from 0 to 9 back to 0, like 0 to 9 to all the way, like filling up, wiping out, filling up, wiping out, and getting the biggest numbers that you can to do that helps out a lot. You get 100 points for each round. So if you can just get really close, because you can do the 4,500 by round 20, or, you know, if you were really good at picking up all the numbers and you had a really good, you know, run and like the random numbers were just really coming your way and you got them in the most efficient order, you could maybe get it by like 18 to 19 if you were really lucky. But sometimes people got to get up into like 21, 22. If you make it to 21, 22, 23, like those rounds are really, really hard. But like if you can just get into the round, you know, you can get 100 extra points. And even if you can't survive, you'll probably get the score you need. So saving the bombs for like those rounds like 15 plus, if you can save your bombs for the rounds after 15, if you can just get your numbers, like if it's too hard to survive on those rounds, if you can just get all the required numbers and just blow up the rest and just skip a couple of rounds that way, that should help you get to the score that you need. I actually think it's pretty cool. I think Mighty Math is very different. I mean, dude, it's a lot different than most of my other games. It's like it was a completely new code challenge and stuff for me. I really enjoyed it. I don't think I warped that perspective too much by moving that. I think it's okay. I wonder if, you know what? Let's look at this real quick and see what the bevel looks like here. I think I should do that. Just bevel that right there on the edges. Actually, that looks bad. Yeah, whatever. We'll just leave the 10 simple. And we'll go to set origin, center of mass. There we go. Yeah. But yeah, so I like Mighty Math. There was a couple things that if I don't know if are you playing Mighty Math on Steam or on PlayStation? And Space by Name says, I use my own custom version of Mono Game. Major engines these days are just the update too often, and I don't need the fancy effects and features. Yeah, dude, you are so on it, because that is like one of my most annoying things. So a lot of my games that I release, people will be like, "Oh, could you port this?" or you do something else. But a lot of them are lost in limbo, because it's not even that the game engine updates so much, because like Unity has like LTS versions. Like I used 2017 for many, many years, then I used 2019 for many, many years. And now I'm in 2021 and I'm using that, and it's been a while for that. But the problem is like the systems, the consoles and stuff, they change so much, both Xbox and PlayStation. They're constantly doing security updates. If you notice, when you're like logging into your systems, you're always getting new downloads, and it will tell you that your PlayStation firmware has been updated to whatever the newest one is, and you can't play online until you get it updated. Well, every time they do that kind of stuff, like your versions of game engines are changing in the background, and what's allowed and what's acceptable. And Unity will stop supporting older versions of their engines on the newer versions of PlayStation and stuff like that. So that's something you got to be looking out for when you're doing game development. So it forces you to move quickly, basically. If you are trying to do console development, I don't know. It's not exactly the best. I wish that I could use some older versions of engines for some of my games. It would be very helpful, because there's a lot of older games that I want to get out right now, and that I want to go back to. Everyone asks me, "Oh, what about the last Tiki?" or some of these other games. I actually want to bring back Kai, the Super Sly Dragonfly. But that game, dude, it's like in Unity 5, and oh man, it would take a lot of upgrading. I have to upgrade it from 5 to like 2017, then 2017 to 2019, then 2019 to 2021, and like fix the errors in between each of them. I'm pretty proficient nowadays with some of that, because like I know what's changed in code, and what some of the Unity things that have changed, like their UI system changes from then to then, from the different versions. So like you just gotta know how to change it, fix it. If you just try to upgrade from like 5 to 2021, you're gonna have a huge problem. But yeah, and oh, I got you, PLP. You're on Steam. I was gonna say I did some stuff on PlayStation that are not on Steam. Some of the features, like I was just testing out, like trying rumble and different things like that. So like there's just like subtle rumble on the PlayStation controller every single time you pick up a number, when you're playing it on PlayStation. I don't remember if I did it. I don't think I did anything with the light bar in that game. I was going to, but then I quit. But just different things like that. But I did get it working on both Steam and on PlayStation, to where when you're playing the game for Mighty Math, it shows your Steam username above your character, and on PlayStation it shows your PSN ID. That way, if you're streaming or you're doing something, and because I thought this game would be like a viral streaming game. Turns out that, like, once again, I didn't get much traffic. Most of the people that I sent the game to never check out the games. But I thought it would be really cool, and like some crazy stuff can happen in runs in Mighty Math, and I figured it would be cool to have people's usernames on there, so you can say, that was my stream or whatever, if they get share it and go viral. So I did get that working for Steam. I think Rumble is the only thing that PlayStation has that the Steam version doesn't have. You said, what about starting from scratch? I basically do have to start from scratch. Especially for Kai. I mean, some of the code would probably work if I fixed it, because that game was only like one level, like completely made, and then like a few different pieces of code. But I modeled like back in the day when I was like modeling more. I thought the model I did for the well, actually works out pretty good. For the Dragonfly was pretty awesome, and we just animated it, not with like bones and stuff, so we wouldn't have to redo that. I think we animated it with code. So it would probably work because, it's just the wings. I think the legs just kind of hang there and then the wings just move back and forth. I know Tyler, he always talks about that one. If I bring that back, it'll be announced basically in one of like those in the TreeFall developers conference this year. Don't hold your breath for it this year though. Like I don't think I'll be able to do it. I've got like like I said, four major games. Like this game, you're getting to see a little bit of like some development early on, but this game will be probably in that show, as well as Pic-A-Block being finished. That's something to expect, because that game, I just got to get down to business on it. I got all the code base done, basically. I just need to make all the levels. And honestly, I kind of stopped what I was doing on that game because of the environment art. Like I was trying to figure out how to do like a really awesome indoor environment. And that was what I was working on for some of my last game development live streams. If I go to local, yes, I can fix this. But when I finally tested the game on PlayStation, I learned just how non-performant that HDRP was on PS4. And by the time that Pic-A-Block comes out, we should have the PlayStation 5 dev kits. So like it'll run great on PS5. But I also want it to be able to run on PS4. And to be honest, like I'm going to continue doing PS4 development for quite a while. People don't really understand why. Like most people are moving on to PS5, like totally. But I really think that it's worth it because if I build stuff for PS4, like PS4 is closer in power to the Switch. Like I'm really hoping to get onto the Switch pretty soon. And like when I make games for Switch, like I'm gonna basically use Switch as the starting point, and the PS4 version would, be similar to that. And then, maybe some upgraded graphical features for the PS5 version, that kind of thing. But I don't know why I would stop. People are still playing the PS4. I have a lot of friends on my friends list where they still have only PS4s and not PS5s. And I still only have a PS4. I do not have a PS5. So there's other people out there like me that I have seen. People are still buying the games on PS4. From what I'm assuming so far, from what I've seen, PS5 to PS4 development is not all that different. So I don't know why I wouldn't take the time to just go ahead and do a PS4 and PS5 version. My dream goal soon, and this is like where I would stop. I always kind of think like, oh, well, if I could get on Switch, I would just go back to making games just for Nintendo. But I have a huge PlayStation fan base now, and I'm pretty. What is this? Oh, it's sticking out. Pretty close with in my relationship with Sony. I feel like that's really grown over the years. So if it was up to me, I would probably continue, just doing Steam releases on occasion and doing PS4, PS5, and Switch. And then eventually when the PS4 versions like aren't selling anymore, no one's really buying them, that's when I would stop that part of development and then just switch in PS5 until, the new Nintendo system. If Nintendo doesn't let me develop games for the Switch before the new system comes out, I don't know what I'll do. I'll lose my mind. I'm like, I can't believe them. But yeah, so now look at this bridge, everyone. This is looking pretty awesome. So we have like 3D. It's not just flat. It's not a flat bridge. I've worked on changing up the textures on all of these pieces. There's going to be different materials. There's different sizes. Each one is changed just a little bit. There's different heights on it. All the wood has been beveled in different sizes and ways. And there's different wood planks on every face of the bridge. I think it looks pretty good, even with no lighting, just sitting here in Blender. This is kind of what I was thinking. And now if you can imagine this in basically a, kind of darker, greenish type of environment where there's kind of like green swampy water and kind of like vines and stuff like that. that's where this is going to go. This is going to be the bridge. I'm going to build a platform right here. As you see, my mouse is moving around. I might as well do that. I'm going to do some new platforms. I'm going to reuse some of the platforms from the first Pitter-Pot game, just with some new textures on them. But, you know, so I can save some time in the modeling. But I'm going to do a lot of custom platforms. And one of the other levels that I'm building for this game is going to be like a Sky Terrace Castle level type of thing. You know, heavily, I'm going to just do heavily inspired by Spyro for this version. So it's going to kind of be like Pitter-Pot is going to a new world. It's not all going to be garden based anymore. And I'm really going to open up the Pitter-Pot franchise to have all sorts of new Pitter-Pot games and stuff like that. So I'm excited to show you guys those models in probably a couple of days. Check out the comments here. Wanted to get work done today, but Mighty Math taking up all my time today. Well, I'm glad you're having fun. The RAR that you've posted in the chat, I'm assuming you got really close and then failed again, which is sad. I'm very sorry to hear that. But yeah, and then Space by Name says, I know a lot of people that don't upgrade to new consoles for a while, so it could be a good idea to be one of the few devs still releasing. I assume there'd be less competition. You are correct. Right now, there is still quite a bit of people releasing on PS4, so it hasn't helped out with the no competition just yet. But that brings me to have a huge regret that I could mention. I released games pretty late into Wii U's life. In 2017, I was releasing my last game. I think it was Annihilation. Maybe was the last one that I did, and you know I wasn't making any money at all, basically on the Wii U. And after that, I packed up my dev kit. I mean, the Switch was already out, and by the time 2015 hit, 2016, those games were making significantly less money than the games that I released in 2014 and 2015. So late 2015 and 2016, like the Wii U was like, it was real dried up already. But there was one dev, like he kept supporting it, and like this is a good example. And then the Silver Falls guy. I don't know him personally, or I haven't talked to him before, but I saw he kept releasing games all the way up to like the week before the shop closed. And it's pretty awesome stuff, because then a lot of people talked about him. He got a lot of fans that way for supporting the console. So I think that's like a really good idea, and that I'm probably going to continue doing that. But for PlayStation 4, because to be honest, you know, a lot of people are busting on Sony right now because their showcase wasn't really the best. And, you know, I don't particularly think the direction that Sony's taking with a lot of their games and first-party games is the smartest one to go. Like, I think that they've basically killed a lot of the franchises that I care about, and ones that they're currently going on, I don't think they're going the right direction. Hate live service anything. I think all that is like really terrible. So their real hard focus on that is pretty bad. But I still think that Sony does a lot of things better than Microsoft. Like they still publish a lot of games physically. They still print discs and stuff like that. And they still let you play games even if they're just downloaded. You don't have to be connected to the internet. A lot of Microsoft games now are like DRM, and you got to be connected to the internet even if they're single player games. So I think that Sony is still doing some things better, even though some of their things are like I'm a little worrisome about. But I owe them a whole lot, because basically when Nintendo shut me out and said I couldn't develop for Switch anymore, you know, I was basically full-time development at that point, and like that was my career and money. And Sony let me come on, and I made a lot more money through PlayStation than I ever did with Nintendo. So it basically kept my dream going, kept my career going, got me back into YouTube and making videos and all that stuff. So I owe a ton to Sony out there, and people really crap on them on the internet for like not being good with indies and all that kind of stuff. But man, I think those people, they don't know the market for PlayStation, and they're missing out quite a bit. So I'm definitely going to continue supporting PlayStation for quite a while, unless something changes. PS5 has no games, bruh. I genuinely think you are the biggest exclusive PS5 game holder that exists. I'm not joking. Yeah, that's like, see, Sony is going down the path. This is one of the other things that I think that they're doing incorrect. They're going down the path of Microsoft, where like all of their games are eventually coming to PC, which is what Microsoft did in the beginning. And then Microsoft started losing money because now they're not selling Xboxes and people are buying stuff on PC. So then they started going day and date, and then everything is coming to PC day one. So there's literally no reason to buy an Xbox like ever. And they almost don't release any games. So it's like basically useless to buy one. Like, why would you spend $500 on that when you already have a computer? It doesn't make any sense. And a lot of people are buying Steam Decks. So now you can play every PlayStation game and every Xbox game on a Steam Deck. So, you know, they're just going to run out of money eventually. They can't keep doing that. And Sony is going down that path as well, because I have lower income. I don't make a ton of money. So like spending $500 on a console, $70 on an extra controller, and $70 on games, that's quite expensive for me. So I was waiting on PlayStation until they had 5 or 10 games that I would be able to pick up used and cheap. That would be fun and awesome. The only games I wanted to play on PlayStation 5 is Astrobot, the Playroom, the game that comes with the system for free, Ratchet and Clank, and then Demon Souls, because I like the Dark Souls games. And then I was waiting to see if I could get a couple new games in that mix that I would actually enjoy playing. And then basically over the time of the last 3 years, they haven't updated any franchises I care about. I don't want to play something like God of War. I don't want to play, you know, any of their other games like that. I wanted to see if they would bring back an older, like, you know, PS2 generation game like Ape Escape or Sly Cooper. I think those days of Sony are dead. So that's kind of sad for me. And then as time's gone by, they just recently announced that Ratchet and Clank is coming to PC. So now there's one less reason for me to buy the console, because I can just play that game on Steam. So it doesn't make any sense. The only two things that I need is Demon Souls and the pack-in game. And I'm not spending $600 for that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I genuinely think, I read that one. Abif bought an Xbox to play Sonic Unleashed at 60 FPS, single-handedly keeping Microsoft's Xbox revenue afloat. I'm looking forward to MGS3 Remake, though. Gonna play that on PS5. My PS5 only exists to play games that don't run as well on Steam Deck or Switch. Yeah, I mean, that's like what it would be for me. Like, I would just wait until there's enough third-party games that I would actually enjoy that I could buy physically, because I care about the physical games. And because I do want to play like Elden Ring, and I want to play that on like the PS5 and stuff. So different things like that, eventually the PS5 will be worth it. But for right now, like, I just can't afford that much money for what it is. And I've been playing so much Nintendo Switch, it's just crazy. Outside of Zelda, like, I'm pretty hype on Advance Wars. I've been replaying Donkey Kong. I just beat Metroid Prime. So, you know, I've had so much to play. Pikmin is like my favorite series ever. I'm going to be super excited for next month. So I'm barely even going to be able to finish all the games before Pikmin even comes out. So we'll see how that goes. I don't need to buy PlayStation right now. Games sell consoles, baby. Space My Name. I heard Croc is getting a remake. I loved playing Spyro Reignited on Switch. Hope they do Sly Cooper remake, but that would complete my PS2 favorites. And PLP says, I got Elden Ring on PS5, Death Stranding 2, and Ratchet, but haven't gotten to them yet. Yeah, I understand. I played Death Stranding on PS4, and I played Elden Ring a little bit on my Xbox before I sold it. I had to sell it. And I'm probably going to just get Elden Ring on PS4 and just play it at, you know, lower settings, and just call it a day. And I have seen the Croc remake stuff. Croc is one of my favorite games. I grew up, the reason I'm a game developer is because of Spyro the Dragon, Bug's Life on PS1, Croc, and Crash Bandicoot, and the original Ape Escape. Those were my favorite games of all time. I grew up on the PS1 generation, and I think that ever since the PS1 generation, like, they've made less and less games that I care about in terms of Sony games. I really like PS2 because Sly Cooper is my jam. I like the first Jak and Daxter and hate 2 and 3. Um, I played the original Attack of the Power of Juju on PS2 and then switched over and played the rest on GameCube because I was a Nintendo guy after sometime during that generation. But yeah, I'm excited about the Croc remake, but I'm like a little apprehensive because I'm like, I'm not sure that the original developers of that game have really made anything in like 20 years or whatever. So I don't know. I don't Are they going to be faithful to their original? A lot of stuff has changed. A lot of people coming out to remake games and stuff now. I'm almost like, dude, just leave the games alone. They were really great, and most of the time remakes just ruin them. Like Spyro Reignited. Um, I like it. Like it's fine. I played through it. I thought it was fun. I still think the originals are better. I think a lot of the character and some of the heart that was in the game is totally lost in the new art style. I think that they just totally missed out on certain things, and some of their design choices I think are pretty bad. But there's some good things about it that are maybe more accessible than the original. So I don't know. I just wish that people would still make games the way that they used to, and also make more, just in general, family friendly games. I mean, Sony's all about third person over the shoulder cinematic games. Like Sucker Punch is busy making Ghost of Tsushima instead of making Sly Cooper and that kind of thing. So, yeah, it's just interesting. But I agree with you. Back when games are good, it is rolling into 4:35, so I'm getting ready to end this chill stream today. Thanks for tuning in. For everyone who joined in and saw how we made this little bridge, I'm going to do piecemeal stuff like this, about an hour stream, do like a model a day, do different little things like that. But I don't want to show off the game. I want it to be a surprise in the trailer coming soon. I'm basically working on this game and the Perplexing Orb Touch. Those are the two games that I'm working on at the moment. So I'm going to like do like a little here and there, show you little things like this zoomed in so you don't get to see the whole scope. So when we finally release the game trailer, it'll be pretty cool. So I don't think I'll be streaming tomorrow for a game development stream. I'm gonna stream the Nintendo Direct in the morning now that I've got this all set up. So if you want to hang out with me and check out my reaction to the Nintendo Direct, I will be doing that. That's at 10 a.m. Eastern time, 7 a.m. Pacific. And yeah, so I hope you tune in. If you're new here, this is just totally relaxed, chilling stream about doing game development. But on this channel, I talk about all things game development and give you my tips and advice on how to get started in game development. If you're brand new and you've never started or have no experience, I also give updates on my games. I do trailers, devlogs, show off the whole process. And so if you are a fan of TreeFall Studios games, or you're someone new trying to get into game development, this is the channel for you. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It would help me out a ton. You can check out some of the links in the description below. I have a few games in the description for this live stream. Tilting Tiles Micro Challenge is our newest game. It's only 49 cents on PlayStation. That'll give you a good idea about what TreeFall Studios is all about. It's a puzzle game, very high quality for the price. I put the Orb bundle in the description as well because it's on sale. Today is the last day that's on sale. It ends tomorrow, I believe. It's in the PlayStation Indie sale, so you can get both the Perplexing Orb 1 and the Perplexing Orb 2 for like $3 to $4, something like that. I think that might be our best value right now because both those games are a few hours of gameplay. So you're going to get a ton out of it. They both have multiplayer modes. So if you got local friends that want to play, and they have challenge modes and extras. They're our most popular series in terms of revenue ever is the Perplexing Orb. So you might want to check that out. I also put Tilting Tiles link there in Steam. I'm still trying to get more reviews for Tilting Tiles on Steam. I just hit my 10, so I have a positive rating. Very happy about that. So if you want to check out the Tilting Tiles series, you can also check out the start on Steam, but all of the games are available on PlayStation. If you're interested in checking out and supporting more of TreeFall Studios, if you enjoyed this stream, if you enjoy our videos, I think that the link to the Patreon is in the description below, but we do have a Patreon page in which we give out a few different rewards for small tiers, $1, $3, and $5. We give shout outs on YouTube. We do behind the scenes looks monthly to semi-monthly. We post stuff that everyone else has not seen yet. We show off games early, and you get your names in the credits of our games. And if you do the highest tier, sometimes you can do beta tests and we'll send you demos and stuff like that before games are even announced. So if you want to support the channel, you can do that for as low as $1, and that's on our Patreon page. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead, even though there's a live stream and not a video, I'll go ahead and give a shout out to everybody who supports TreeFall Studios on patreon.com. I got to give a personal shout out to Carmen Red, Overhyped Gamer, and Sharkamino. Thanks, guys, for what you do for TreeFall Studios on patreon.com. I could not do what I do without you. Really appreciate it. Let me go ahead and answer these last few comments here before I end the stream. He says, it was a fun stream. Do more of them. I think I'm going to clean sweep the rest of your PS5 library today. Night Detective, Micro Challenge, and whatever else I don't have. Nice. That sounds like a good plan. I hope you enjoy them. You can hit me up on Discord when you're playing them and let me know what you think. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. I will catch you tomorrow for the Nintendo Direct. I will start early. I'll do a pre-show because I'm going to be going over predictions. Rhythm Heaven tomorrow, everyone. I'm going to will it into existence or just hope really hard and get my hopes let down. But we're going to be talking about predictions, be doing all that fun stuff, and then we'll do the stream. I'll try to get some graphics so we can, hide my little bubble and you can really see the games pretty well, and try to get the audio good. So if you're tuning in with me, you're not going to miss any of the announcements for the actual Direct. So I'm working on doing a little bit better on my media. Hopefully we'll get there soon. It's all a learning process, but thanks for hanging out. I will catch you guys in the next one.